Joining us now live after practice, friend of the program, defensive lineman Remington Peck. Remington, what's going on, man?
Much, guys. Thanks for having me.
You bet. What did you do during the bye week?
Well, after practice Friday, I headed up, hit the mountains, and went hunting.
Of course you did.
That's what you do. What did you hunt, and how did you do?
It was deer. It's a muzzleloader deer hunt, so I shot a deer Friday night, and then pretty much sat in the trailer the rest of the weekend because of the rain.
Listen.
Yeah, it did rain a lot.
I love jerky. Can you deliver some jerky to BYU Sports Nation?
Hey, definitely. I make my own jerky.
Do
I'll
you
have
really?
to get you some, yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
For a few years.
Nice.
A lot cheaper that way.
Absolutely. Hey, Utah State coming up this week. You're from South Jordan, so you know about the Aggies and Cougars. No Utes on the schedule. Does this replace that at all for you guys since you don't play Utah?
Yeah, I would say for sure. I mean, there's especially the in-state guys. You know what I mean. You have a lot of relationships. You know most of the team. My brother actually played there for the last 3 years, so it'll be fun. It's an exciting game, one that we always look forward to.
He's not on the team anymore. He graduated.
No, yeah, he's done now. So.
Gotcha. Do you have any old Bingham High teammates that play for
Yeah,
Utah State?
I do. LT Filiaga, he transferred from Utah, so he's their starting backer now, and it'll be fun. And then obviously we know a lot of guys there. So.
What kind of family trash talk took place when your brother was playing at Utah State?
Oh, man, it was a rough week, especially after the game.
Did your parents have like those half T-shirts?
Yeah, they did. They actually split the jersey in half, so it's pretty cool.
Junior defensive lineman Remington Peck back on BYU Sports Nation. How do you prepare for a guy like Chuckie Keeton? I know he's coming off of an ACL injury against you guys last year. He tweaked that knee again, but they expect him to play. What kind of Chuckie is BYU's defense preparing for?
Yeah, I'd actually we heard something different today. I heard they're actually medical redshirting him.
Wow,
really? As of now, but I mean that could be different if he is there. I mean, obviously it's a whole different deal with his legs. He's very good on the ground, and so you have to play and prepare more for a two-dimensional quarterback.
So you're not preparing for Chuckie to play Friday?
As far as we know, as far as last night, they announced that they're medical redshirting him. But I mean, I still think we need to prepare just in case he doesn't,
Yeah, absolutely. How did things change if Chuckie's not there?
Yeah, I don't know their backup number 10. I don't know his name, but he's really good with his arm. He's got a great arm, great passer. Doesn't have the legs that Chuckie has, and so I think they'll go to the air a little bit more if that's the case. So.
Do you really not know the names of guys? It's like just the jersey number, or you're like, yeah,
number 10, must kill number 10.
Daryl Garrison, yeah.
I mean, some guys I do, some guys, but yeah, I don't know him.
When are you on how do you implement hunting into your football game, Remington?
It's actually rough. Last year we practiced, we practiced in the afternoons, and so me and a couple teammates, we'd go a lot in the mornings. But now we practice in the morning, so we'll have to make it a nighttime tradition.
Michael Elisa joined the program last week, and he told us that practice was actually really hard during the bye week. Was that the case, and did that surprise you?
I think a little bit. They were smart with guys, that had some injuries and getting them feeling better. But like Coach Mendenhall, he made a point at the beginning that other teams are practicing and getting better, and that we needed to do the same. And so I think the way they handled it was smart, and that we did make strides during that week. But I would say, yeah, it was a little harder than normal.
Remington Peck, junior defensive lineman for BYU football on BYU Sports Nation. We've talked about Utah State's quarterback situation and the key injuries up there. Today, we heard that Jay Drew of the Salt Lake Tribune is reporting that Nick Kurtz practiced. Also, we want to know about Bronson Kafusi. Can you update us on those guys?
Yeah, I saw Bronson practice the whole practice. He was, for the most part, I think he did well. He said he felt good. I asked him after practice. And then I know he didn't do individual, but he did do the team. And then Nick Kurtz, I saw him out there, but I'm not sure how much he did.
When you look at this upcoming game, and kind of the pass rush has been a conversation that we've had. Michael Lisa said, hey, we found 2 sacks, but in the box scores, 0 sacks the last 111 pass attempts or whatever the last 2 games. Do you guys feel like the pass rush is where you want it to be from the last 2 games?
Not even close, to be honest. I mean, it just seems like, me personally, I've had a lot of opportunities and just haven't capitalized. But it's like here at BYU, there's such an emphasis on the run that sometimes we almost forget about pass rush. And so there's been a huge emphasis on that the last couple weeks, and I hopefully we'll see a big difference with that.
You may have been reminded a time or 8,000 that BYU is undefeated for the first time since 2008.
Wait, what?
4-0, ranked 18 and 19 in the 2 polls. Is there positive pressure related to being undefeated?
I would say so. You know what I mean? I think this team, I've said it a lot of times before, but this team just seems a little different. The camaraderie and everyone, the excitement is still the same as it was at game 1. And so I think we just try to keep that streak alive and really not even focus on the streak. We talk about a 1-game season, and it's just Utah State right now, and we'll worry about the rest later. So, yeah, I would definitely say it's positive.
We've been conversing about the strength of schedule, how BYU's opponents are doing, and what that means, nationally, and the perception and votes and polls and whatnot. Do you guys care at all how your opponents do? Do you want them to do well or not? Do you not care?
To be honest, personally, I don't really care. I mean, I'll watch it or something if the game's on, but you hope they do well just for that reason. And I feel like we played some good opponents that will do well. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Remington Peck, junior defensive lineman on BYU Sports Nation, preseason all-independent first-team player. Remington, you wear number 44. I've wanted to ask you this for a while. How did you pick number 44 as a defensive lineman?
Yeah, so all growing up and in high school, I didn't play line. I graduated from Bingham, and I was like 6'5", 215, and I came here as a tight end and an outside backer. And so I started at tight end. My freshman year, I went to outside backer and then went on my mission. And by the time I came home in one off season, I put on like 35 pounds. And so that's kind of how it happened. I was never a defensive end. I was always, a tight end or outside backer. And so when I put on the weight, I just decided to keep the number.
We heard that if you don't have a clean locker, that you have to do a 100-yard roll. How many of those have you done this season, Remington?
I've done none.
Oh, nice.
I had the privilege of doing that my freshman year, and it's probably one of the worst conditioning exercises there is. So,
who is the biggest culprit of having a dirty locker on the team?
I don't really know, to be honest. I know who has the cleanest locker, and that would be Ross.
Ross,
the
man who gives free haircuts.
He is the most organized person you'll ever meet.
Well, are you going to have a haircut from Ross Oppo? Because I really think that'd change your look.
I don't think I am. I'm not quite into the Mohawk style. So.
As you look at Utah State, and now you come off of a bye week, last year the bye week came at an inopportune time, if you talk to Bronco Mendenhall, between Texas and Utah. Do you feel like, we needed it this time around?
I think we needed it physically. You know what I mean? I feel like we needed it to get some people healed up and to become healthy again. But mentally, I feel like we're still real hungry. You know what I mean? We're not at the point where, we need a break yet. We need to, let us rest up a little bit. We're still excited to play and get out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'd say a little bit on the physical end.
Remington Peck is on BYU Sports Nation. What do you think of wearing the Royal Blues this Friday?
Man, I'm excited. It brings back the Bingham days, and it'll be exciting. I love the Royal Blue.
I went to Copper Hill, so I'm not as excited about the way that you answered that per se.
Hey, it's okay. I think your record's about 0-40 against them.
Hey, we got one a couple years ago.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah, one.
Congratulations.
And then of course Jim McMahon in the house, and everything that comes along with that. What does that mean to the team that he's going to be there on a Friday night against Utah State?
Yeah, man, I think, the tradition that he set in place, and we try to carry it on. And BYU, focuses a lot on the people that have gone before him and what they've done for the program. And so we'll try to play our best and make those guys proud and keep the tradition alive.
Remington, you have a younger coaching staff, and I say that compared to the rest of college football, but guys like Garrett Tujay and Mark Atuwai and Jason Beck. How is the younger vibe, and then you throw in Zach Nyborg, the director of football operations, and Jeff Martin recruiting. How has that younger vibe helped BYU football in 2014?
I think it just helps us, almost modernize, just because those guys understand how it is to be our age. Those guys understand, it is what it's like to live the college life in today's world. And then with Zach, he understands what the fans like. He understands social media. And I think it just helped us all around, become more modernized and stuff like that.
You guys use iPads for film review and that kind of thing. Describe kind of the process of what you get and when you get and what you're asked to review and all that.
Yeah, so if you're in the 2 deep, you get an iPad.
Okay.
Basically how it works is there's this thing called Player Link, and it's just an app, and so everything's filmed, every drill, everything during practice. And so when you get in from practice, if you have your iPad in the locker room or if it has Wi-Fi at your house, the practice and all the clips will already be uploaded on your iPad. And then the coaches can select certain games to go on the iPad. And so, like this week, there's every one of Utah State's game this week and this year, and then our game against them last year. And so, you know what I mean? You pretty much can watch whatever you like, and coaches will have you watch certain things at certain times.
Wait, are you asked about that? Is there like any kind of quiz or conversation about that ever?
Every once in a while. I think for the most part they trust us. But like today, Coach Howell in defensive meeting, he asked, you know, a few of us what we had learned over the weekend from Utah State by watching film, and so stuff like that you'll have to answer. But
Remington Peck on BYU Sports Nation. Great to have you with us, my friend. Glad you made it back safely from your hunting trip, the rain-soaked hunting trip, and we want some jerky.
That would be awesome.
All right, man. I'll get it to you. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks.
Sounds good.